You remember when you were little, there might be one subject in particular that you struggled with, and that could mean extra tuition, private tuition. So have your children had any, and how effective was it? Apparently people in London are twice as likely to pay for private tuition than the rest of us. But even so, the numbers are going up. Edd Stockwell is one of the founders of Tutorfair, and it's a website that helps people find tutors in their area. Morning, Ed.
Good morning.
Why do you think then there's such an increase in people booking tutors?
I think it's tutoring is the single most effective form of education you can get, one-on-one tutoring. And I think it's probably also the oldest form of education. I think Aristotle was probably right several thousand years ago. And so everyone's always had private tuition. And I think it's also gone up quite a bit recently in the last 10 years, just as sort of competition for top schools and jobs has just continued to increase.
Is that what you're putting it down to? It's not the state of our education system then?
No, I don't think so at all. I think our education system is fantastic. I think that every child is different, and everyone misses something at school. So if parents and teachers can find ways to help kids to fill in the gaps that they missed or anything like that. All good teachers, do tutoring, just after class or a little bit of one-on-one time with kids to help them out. I think it's a fantastic thing.
I imagine then that the increase in London is down to the increase in competition and places. Would you put it down to that?
I think it's partly that. I think it's partly just becoming more socially acceptable. Tutoring does have a bit of a stigma to it. It's perceived as sort of the middle class, buying advantage, right. Which I think it's exactly what the middle class are trying to do. And on one level, they're right to do it. It's a really effective way to help their students succeed. I think the difficulty starts to creep in when you've got that stigma and it becomes unfair, and those that can't afford to pay can't have access to such an incredibly powerful form of education. And then I think we really need to look quite carefully about what we can do to help bridge that gap and make a difference.
But don't you offer tuition to children who can't afford it as well?
We do. So we've got a one-for-one promise that for every student who pays, we give tutoring to someone that can't afford it. So we partner inner city schools where they've got a high proportion of students on preschool meals, and then class teachers choose which students can benefit most. And our tutors go into those schools to work with those kids.
I was going to say, that'd be hard to choose, wouldn't it, which ones really do need it?
Oh, really tough. I think, but class teachers, I think, do know their class.
They
do know
definitely.
Their kids. They're the right people to make that decision, I think.
How expensive is it then if you want to pay for private tuition?
So average cost of a private tutor sort of about £23 an hour outside London, rising to about £29 an hour inside London as an average. But a lot of people, if they want really experienced tutors, which are really hard to find, it might be up at sort of 40, 50, 60, 70, £80 an hour.
Wow.
I think the most expensive that we've got on Tutorfair is sort of £200 an hour. He is an extraordinary man, but there's also a very extraordinary price.
£200 an hour?
Yeah.
Teaching what?
Maths and science.
Wow.
But when you speak to clients he works with, the quote that I got from one of them was, "Mark can organise a child's mind for success." He's just one of these sort of magical characters that connects with children and inspires them to want to learn and succeed.
Wow.
I do not recommend buying him because he's ridiculously expensive. But he's the best of the best.
It sounds like we could do cloning him then.
Yes, that was a brilliant. Let's solve one problem at a time, but then let's clone Mark.
What you need to do is to pay him £200 an hour to teach 10 teachers how to do it.
But
it's exactly what he's doing this Saturday. We've got 100 tutors in a room, and he's leading our tutor training. teaching them, all the tips that he's sort of accumulated over his 17 years of private tutoring. Yeah, we do a lot of tutor training, and it's really...
And I'm guessing you've seen lots of situations where the children have really benefited from this.
Oh, it's extraordinary the difference you can make. Just sort of unlocking or unblocking, really, the little thing they don't understand. You can so quickly, if you struggle in one subject, you can think, oh, I don't understand maths. I'll never understand
maths.
That was
me, yeah.
I'm not going to try at maths. And it's not true. That's just the panic zone of your learning. And as soon as someone explains it to you and makes that little bit make sense and inspires you to want to try and to believe you can succeed, it'll unlock maths for you. It's extraordinary.
Ed, it's been lovely to talk to you. Thank you so much for coming on this morning.
Thank you so much.
And good luck with Mark and the teachers this weekend.
Oh, thanks very much.
Brilliant, thank you. That's Edd Stockwell, who is one of the founders of Tutorfair, which is a website that helps people. And so if you're looking to find a tutor in your area.
12 minutes to 8. It's breakfast on BBC Radio Shropshire. Brian and Eileen Pugh's golden wedding anniversary today. Lots of love from Mary and all the family and all of us here at BBC Radio Shropshire as well. Ian Berry gets some jobs